Okay, the wait is finally over. This is the review that everybody wants to see. Here it is, Superman on Commodore 64.
Yeah, that's what you mean, right? The Commodore 64? It was one of the best-selling home computers from the 80s. The games came on floppy disks. Remember those? The ones that actually are floppy? Let's pop this fucker in, turn this son of a bitch on, and play some Superman. Well, this is the startup screen. You never know what to do unless you have the instructions. You gotta type load, parenthesis, asterisk, parenthesis, comma 8, comma 1, and then return. And then it goes to black, and a few seconds later it says, now loading Superman. At least that lets you know you did it right, but then you gotta wait for the piece of shit to load. You remember those early CD-based game consoles like the PlayStation, and you'd always have to wait for everything to load? Well, it's nothing like that. This thing actually takes 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Yeah, I timed it. Then the title screen starts up with the music and you're like, wow. But wait, what the hell's this? Type in the character that appears in column 9, row 10? Oh, come on, I gotta get the code card. Yeah, the code card. Match up the damn numbers and there you go, it's 5. Why do I gotta do that? So you pick your difficulty and then guess what? It's gotta load again. 54 seconds this time. Not long, but seems like an eternity. So anyway, you get this comic book storyline thing, and then you son of a bitch. Probably 2 weeks later, when you finally start playing the game, you'll be surprised that the graphics are quite decent and the gameplay is self-explanatory. You just fly around and shoot stuff. You don't have to be Clark Kent and find subway passes or any bullshit like that. So it's actually better than the Nintendo version. But that's not saying much. That's like saying the shit that I took last night was better than the shit I took the day before. Controller's a piece of fuck, but at least it's one of those kind where you can plug in most of the Ataris or the Sega Genesis controller. Isn't that amazing? The first level has a 3D perspective. The second level, you're protecting a space shuttle from a bunch of asteroids. This one's more like a 2D shooter. The third level's like a side-scroller, so it has some variety. But this has got to be one of the most annoying stages in video game history. Every time you get hit, you fly back. Fuck. Fuck. Fuck! Fuck! It's enough of this shit.
But wait, this isn't what you want to see, is it? Nah, you want to see this, right? Oh, come on, you really want to make me play this? Well, I'm going to do it just for you, because I like you a lot. Now don't take that too serious. Here it goes. I'm turning on the power.
First, you're greeted by a smiling cartoon fox. Titus? What the fuck is that? Well, the official title of the game is just Superman, but probably because of the Nintendo 64's tradition of putting 64 at the end of so many titles, it's no wonder that it got that reputation. The first thing that bothers me is the stock music. Why not the Superman theme? You know, the John Williams one? Why don't any of these games have that? Immediately as the game begins, you have to start flying through rings. I don't even have any time to get used to the control. You think that as soon as the game starts, you'd have a little free range, you know, to fly around and explore. But no, you gotta fly through rings. And you can't fuck up. If you miss more than, I think, 3, I don't know, sometimes it's 2 and sometimes it's 4, so I'm not sure. But basically, if you miss a few of these rings, you go back to the beginning. And you keep trying it over and over till you get it right. And on top of that, there's a time limit. And being that this is the first part of the game, you'd think that the time limit would be a little lenient, but no, it gives you just barely enough time to get through all these rings. You gotta be perfect. Looks like I'm doing a real shitty job, but the control is awful. You have to be very specific with the joystick or else Superman takes a dive in the wrong direction. And then when you try to make a sharp turn, he just goes all over the place. You all probably know better than I, and it goes without saying, but this game is horrendous! And you know what the most pathetic thing about it is? This game isn't even 10 years old! Just barely. You'd think by 1999 there'd be some kind of quality standard. What? I'm stuck? How the hell am I stuck? I'm underneath the bridge. Looks like Superman's stroking his super dick. So, naturally, when a game gives you a time limit, you're in a hurry. You can't approach any of these rings with care and patience. You gotta keep moving. If you miss a ring, you have the option to turn around and try to get it again, so there's no strike against you unless you skip to the next ring, so basically you have to go through all the rings in order. But if you miss one, the time it takes you to turn your ass around and go back through, you already wasted too much time, so it's almost the same as just missing the ring. You have to keep flying. If you stop and bullshit around, then you're not going to make the time limit. See, I just fucked around too much, so I might as well just give up and kill myself. You see that building? I'm just going to crash into it. Well, that didn't do a damn thing. You mean you can't die? Well, absolutely not. You're just stuck in limbo until the time runs out. The only thing worse than an impossibly bad game is not even being able to kill yourself. What's with the punching? Do I actually get to punch people somewhere in this shitload fuck of a game? I guess I'll never find out, but why are these punches so awkward? You gotta be kidding me. I'm stuck again? I'm nowhere near the wall. Look how much room. Look how much room. How can I be stuck when there's so much room? 15 seconds and I'm almost there. Almost there. Oh, fuck, Mr. Ring. Oh, come on. Can't even give me one more chance? Oh, man. What is he doing? Exercises? This is so ridiculous. This game isn't just bad. It's really bad. I'm not even kidding around. It's fucking horse shit. Almost there. Less than 10 seconds. Come on. I can just barely make it. Look, there's the last ring. Fuck! Ass bitch can't fart! I can't believe it! There is only one ring left. Oh, this is ass. This is really ass. Oh, look, this time I'm gonna do it. It's 4 seconds. Shit! Yeah! No! That didn't count! So finally, when I get past the rings, instructions flash on screen, then go away. What did it say? Something about cars? You're not even given enough time to read it. Oh, it's over already? What was I supposed to do?
There's no time to waste.
What? I don't even get to try again? I'm back at the fucking rings again? I can't believe I'm playing a Superman game where all you do is fly through rings. At first, I thought this was the training mode. Yeah, you know, like to test your accuracy. Lots of games have that. Remember Star Fox on the Super Nintendo? There's a training mode where you have to fly through rings. But even then, you don't have to go through all the rings. It's about how many you can get through in a row. In the actual game, you're flying around shooting at enemies and dodging obstacles. So what the hell is this shit? You should be fighting bad guys, not testing your flight skills with some of the worst control accuracy ever in a video game. But it actually does have a practice mode. Out of curiosity, I tried it out just to see what it is, and guess what it is? Going through rings. Yeah, what'd you expect? So once again, I'm at the next part. The message flashes on the screen for barely a second, and then you have 6 seconds to do whatever. Fuck. Back to the rings again. You know, if I had 2 consecutive chances, I might be able to figure it out. But instead, I'm too surprised when I finally get there to act in 6 seconds and with no time to read what it's telling me to do. And am I really doing this? Is this a Superman game? Flying through rings? Is that the best they could come up with? That's like if they made a Batman game where all he does is just play hopscotch.
This looks like a job for Superman.
Okay, time for the 6-second car stage again. Get off! Get off! Here we go. Got the car. Now what? Oh, the timer reset to 11. That's weird. But what do I do with the car? Okay, so there's another car coming. Can I stop it? Oh, this is the shits. This is the shits. Basically, you got to pick up both these cars and throw them before they hit the people. But guess what's after that? More rings! And after that, you got to pick up a police car and carry it to the goal. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. You go through rings, pick up cars, go through rings, and pick up cars. So I get to the goal, and guess what's next? Seriously, I want you to just take a guess what comes after this. More rings? Yeah. What kind of game is this? Is this some sort of insanity test? Well, I'm done. I'm sorry, but that's all I can do. This game doesn't even qualify as shit. It's like the equivalent of shit taking a shit. This is unspeakably, shockingly bad. It's sickeningly loathsome. It's a fucking suffering to the mind. It's a bunch of fuck and it doesn't belong on this planet. Somebody's gotta take care of it. This is a job for the fucking nerd. Time to do a super game. Super Mario 64. No! That's right. It's back. I already played this game. I already showed you how bad it is, but it gets worse. Much worse. First, a little background. I complained already they should have used the Superman theme, you know, by John Williams. But I didn't know at the time this was based on the Superman animated series. It was the second in what's often called the Timverse, or DC animated universe, which consisted of the highly acclaimed Batman the Animated Series, the new Batman Adventures, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, the Zeta Project, which absolutely no one remembers. Then finally, Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, with a few features sprinkled here and there. Superman the Animated Series helped bring a lot of the mythology from the comics to a whole new audience. Characters who are often excluded from previous TV or film incarnations finally got more attention and have since gained popularity and shown up in other shows and movies. It was regarded as a great series, so it's surprising it led to one of the worst games ever made. Alright, enough of the history lesson. Let's get on with this shit. So, here's an interesting detail I missed before. The story of the game is that Lex Luthor has hidden Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Emma Hamilton in his virtual world. That's right, this entire video game takes place inside a video game. You'd think a genius like Lex Luthor would use his ability to create anything in a virtual world and come up with some crazy obstacles or enemies for Superman to face, so what did he decide on? You know. Rings. Yeah, not messing around this time. So picking up from last time, after another round of rings, I have to fight a few shadow men. Alright, I'm gonna land and just punch them. No, I can't land because they're under me. Oh, and now I'm through the floor? And then oh, yeah, of course. I should have expected something like that. These guys are not hard to take out, but I can't land! When you're not flying at full speed, you just hover. I can't get to the last guy in time! Ah, fuck! Finally, I'm able to punch all of them and get through another round of rings, and then I end up having to save 3 people from tornadoes. This should be really easy. You should just be able to use your super breath. No, he has no super breath. He just blows. Oh, you have to collect your superpowers. Oh, okay. So I get the super breath, I go to the tornado, but I can't slow down in time. By the time I activate my power, the tornado's too far away and kills people. One time I was lucky enough to get both tornadoes in time at the right point and blow them away. But guess what? These tornadoes come back as the final boss in another Superman game. Now I'm in sort of a dam. Goddamn dam. These levels are nothing but mazes full of backtracking. You gotta throw robots and cardboard boxes into lasers, find the key card, go back to the beginning, flick a switch on a computer, blow up more robots, avoid a giant electric eel, drain the dam, and then a guy tells you to disarm some bombs before the clock runs out. Gee, where have I heard that one before? Luckily, you could pick up the super speed power-up. That should help. Oh dear. Where am I? The Phantom Zone? Oh, gee, and you have to start the whole level over because there's no checkpoints. On the way to the bombs, you have a boss fight with Mala. She was like the cartoons version of Ursa from Superman 2. Alright, here we go. Get ready for this epic boss battle. Well, that was anticlimactic. You know it's bad when the level enemies are harder than the boss. Let's see what's next. What could possibly follow that up?
Then there's no time to waste.
No. No way. Oh no. They move! Why do they have to move? Oh, wow! Yeah, they really changed it up! You know what's a scary thought? What if this was some kid's first exposure to Superman? Maybe they got the game for Christmas or their birthday or something. They hear about this awesome guy who can do anything, and then they pop the game in, and it's nothing but fucking rings! This would ruin the character of Superman for anybody. And if the rings weren't enough to do it for you, this weird 3D face will. Well, this is the ugliest digital Superman face I've ever seen. Second ugliest. Alright, now I'm at this puzzle, yeah, a puzzle, where I have to use different computers to make these letters say Luthor. I'm sure there's probably some pattern or strategy, but all I did was keep clicking until it got solved. Not sure how I did it, and I don't care. Now we get to Luthor's office, where we fight Brainiac, one of the most badass Superman villains. He let Krypton die, has knowledge from worlds all over the universe, can shoot blasts of energy from his hands, and once mind-controlled Batman. This is definitely going to be a good boss fight. Is it too much to ask for? Just to have one decent boss fight? I mean, the levels are so complex. I mean, don't you think a good boss fight would have made it all worthwhile? Well, somebody didn't think so. Hey, you know what? At least it's not rings.
Then there's no time to waste.
Fuck! You want to know the worst thing about these ring levels? Right when you're getting the hang of it, the game will glitch and send you flying across the map for no goddamn motherfucking reason. So you have to backtrack or restart. The next level, you have to save Lois from Metallo. It's more of the same. Throw boxes, kill shadow people, fight robots, figure out bullshit puzzles. The hard part's when you have to escort Lois out of the level. You'd think it'd be easy. Just pick her up and fly, right? No. She has to run. Oh, did I say run? I wish. She sprints for a second, gets to a hallway, and then slowly strolls the rest of the way. Move! Move! Oh, come on, move! You can't even run ahead, just a little bit, and take out some shadow guys before she reaches them. If you get too far away, a shadow guy will spawn in front of her. And I'm so sick of saying shadow guy. So you're forced to watch her take every step toward the exit, which feels like it's 10,000 miles away. Okay, time to fight Metallo, a cybernetic creep with the brain of a mercenary and a heart made of kryptonite. Let's see how much of a challenge he is. Again?
Then there's no time to waste.
Again? Ah! So then you get to this parking garage stage, and it's a huge pile of ass. No, really, this thing is a shit behemoth. Really, it's like a moldy turd. I'd rather be impaled by a piss icicle. On top of that, there's a time limit and kryptonite that's slowly killing you. Ooh, time to take on Darkseid. Now, he's the strongest of Superman's opponents in the cartoon. So, let's see what's gonna happen here. Ooh boy, this is gonna be some serious shit. Glitched. Again. Now I gotta play that whole maze all over? Oh man, this game is such shit. I'd rather lick the asshole of a Thanagarian snare beast. So, rinse and repeat. Here we go. Darkseid again. Oh wait, I have that heat vision. Let me try that. Okay, this is working. Alright, I'm gonna have to use my fist here. Oh, okay. Come back. Oh, there he is. Alright, I got him. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. I have to drag him to the police now. Yeah, Darkseid, the ruler of Apocalypse, commander of armies of parademons, a new god who can shoot omega beams from his eyes, is just gonna go to the regular police. Yeah, throw him in a cell with Bruno Mannheim. He'll be fine. And then after another round of rings, yeah, you know, I'm getting used to it at this point. I get this level where I have to rescue Emil Hamilton from Parasite. This level is actually pretty decent. The map is smaller, and the directions are more clear and precise. Also, you defeat the boss in a clever way. So all in all, it's a pretty decent level. There's only one problem. I keep falling through the map. Look at this! I broke the boundary! I'm on the outside of the game looking in! Break the boundaries of existence! Superior gameplay lets you exceed the laws of physics!
Superman 64 is 64 times the awesome!
So after that, you do more rings, big surprise, and then we're at a Subway. Not the fast food place, but the actual Subway. And it's the same stuff you'd expect. Flying around aimlessly, backtracking, yada yada. But then it turns into a real shit show when you have to do another escort mission. And this guy is worse than Lois. When enemies are close, you have to make sure he doesn't get hurt. So how do you keep him safe? By using your super breath and encasing him in ice. Well, I've seen Superman do lots of crazy things, but putting them in ice? Like, how do they breathe? How do they stay alive? Why am I asking you? Look at this shit. The guy gets to the exit, he thanks you, and you think that's it. But then he gets attacked on his way out and I can't go past the door. The only thing I can do is escape through the ceiling and hope the level ends before this guy gets killed. So here it is, the final ring level. But it's the worst of them all! There's rings underwater that go below the map, there's moving rings, there's even multiple ring paths that lead to false exits. Now that is just cruel. In a normal game, this might be challenging, but not when the controls are so broken. Fuck! Fuck! Ass! Ugh. I can't do it. I need help. I need guidance. I need to learn to fly.
Where did you learn to fly?
Geez, that's a face I didn't miss.
Where did you learn to fly?
Not from playing Cybermorph, I can tell you that.
Where did you learn to fly?
I don't know. Top Gun Academy?
Where did you learn to fly?
I wish you'd ask Superman that. He can't fly for shit in this game.
Where did you learn to fly?
Actually, when preparing for this review, I looked into when Superman first flew. Early in the comics, he couldn't fly, but instead jumped really high. The earliest appearance of him flying was in Superman number 10. The artist working on the issue wasn't clear about Superman's powers and thought he could fly. So his first flight was by accident. It was quickly corrected in the next issue, and the next time the character flew was in the radio show. Finally, Superman would fly on screen in the old Fleischer cartoon. In both cases, his power of flight was given to him simply because the people making them really wanted to.
Where did you learn to fly?
I guess Superman never really did learn to fly. It was just a combination of dumb luck and people wanting him to fly.
Where did you learn to fly?
I know what you're saying. I don't really need to learn to fly through these rings. I just need to want it and hope for the best.
Where did you learn to fly?
Well, thanks for the encouragement, talking head from Cybermorph. Hey, I'm sorry I shot you with the super scope and called you an asshole that one time.
Where did you learn to fly?
All right. What the hell's this? I'm gone 5 minutes and already I have 4 replacements? Get out of here! Yeah, here we go. Here we go! Oh, I beat the rings! I beat the rings! No more fucking rings! But the nightmare isn't over yet. The final level takes place on Brainiac's spaceship, and it is the biggest pain in the ass you can imagine. I wish I could reverse the world's rotation and go back in time to destroy the computer this game was designed on. You have to find 12 pieces of a machine scattered all over. And the whole time, you have robots, crab people, and little tanks trying to mess up your day. And if you find all the pieces, Brainiac sends you to a room full of teleporters. The goal here is to get the numbers to add up to 2,000. And like the Luthor puzzle, I have no idea what to do, so I'm just gonna mess around. Sometimes I get the combination quick, other times the clock runs out and I lose. After that, you have to escort Jimmy and Lois to safety, and these idiots just stroll into a room full of lightning. You have to freeze them again and push them to safety, but be careful because you might push them off a bridge. After saving Lois and Jimmy, you have to fight Brainiac again. And if you're expecting something really exciting, well, you should know better by now.
Once he's down, you destroy some bombs, and of course, another rings. Just kidding. Superman brings his friends to the real world, and Luthor gets away. I am so happy to be finished with this, I'm gonna ignore that the camera is having a seizure. You wanna know something else that's a real kick in the ass? In recent years, a ROM of the game surfaced, which was of the unreleased PlayStation version, and it actually looks alright. The levels look unique, the bad guys look cooler, the controls don't seem great, but it looks like they work. According to Titus, after all the changes they were forced to make for the Nintendo version, their license ran out and they couldn't release it. Instead, we got this rancid anus tart of a game vomiting green rings in our face. No! Please don't! Don't hurt the good, innocent games! Ah!